Hello. So I am trying to stick with this, making videos more regularly, but my kiddo's been fighting sleep, and the only time I have that I can work on videos is after he goes to bed, which I also like to do, like read, meditate, take a shower without being interrupted, all lovely things. So today's video is on what I packed for surgery. I feel like I did pretty good. I knew not to really overpack. I have training as a doula, and it's really, really easy to overpack for birth, whichever side of the coin you're on for that. And I think it's also really easy to overpack when you are having surgery of some kind. So I wanted to make a video of what I packed for surgery, why I packed it, what I used, what I didn't use, as I choke on my spit. I think I did pretty well. I'm gonna grab my water. Goodness. And that wasn't a Chiari choke on my spit, that was just I breathed wrong. So no worries. Alright, so I'm gonna start with personal care items. So what I packed as far as this, I am very, very minimal. I don't wear makeup. I need to get some hair product, but otherwise I don't really do a whole lot. I'm very minimal with what I use. So other people might find there's some other things they want to have to feel normal for going home or when they're feeling up for it, but I really think personal care products should be really, really limited what you're basically going to need. Of course, toothbrush and toothpaste, deodorant, brush, hair ties if you have long hair, that kind of basics. If you think you're going to shower while you're there, I was there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and I did not shower there. I did not feel comfortable doing so. I did not bring my shower supplies because I just figured I'll shower when I get home. I'll wear deodorant. I'll clean myself there. Like I could use, washcloth or whatever if I wanted to clean myself up. But if you feel like you need to, do that. I also put glasses in with personal care. If you wear contacts, you might not want to be sticking your fingers in your eye. Your eyes are mucous membranes, and COVID is transmitted on mucous membranes. So you can get infected through your eyes. So you might not want to. Other diseases can be through your eyes too. So you might not want to have contacts. You might want to bring glasses. I only wear glasses, so of course I brought them. And be prepared to not be able to wear them for your pre-op chat with your doctor. I was already through, had everything that, bare minimums, gown on, and grippy socks. And that was it for my pre-op talk with the surgeon, the anesthesiologists, and the nurses. Another big one for anyone with a uterus, bring your period supplies. Even if you aren't expecting your period, medications, contrast, all kinds of stuff can mess with your cycles. The stress of it, the fact that they're going in and messing with your brain can mess with your cycles. I was kind of expecting it. I started while I was in the hospital after brain surgery. So I knew I was close. I was on that edge. But I actually started a few days earlier than I expected. So, I'm glad that I packed it and I ended up using it. But even if I hadn't used it, I would still say pack it. 2 years ago, I had a stuck gallstone and I ended up in the hospital kind of unexpectedly. I had packed almost nothing. And I am still kicking myself that I didn't end up having my period supplies with me. Sorry, I had an idea of something else to write down because we're just winging this. I got notes, but just doing the best I can. So, yes, bring those things. If you want to have contacts for the way home, bring them, but I honestly just wear your glasses if you got glasses. Okay, so the next thing on my list of lists here was clothes. You're not going to be wearing anything much in the hospital after brain surgery. Into the ICU, I had a gown on. And because there was a catheter in, there was no underpants, not even mesh panties, which you can request mesh panties if you prefer. And also, they like the kind they use for postpartum. They use them for surgery as well. Or if you start your period, hospitals are basically only going to have mesh panties and pads. If you don't like pads and mesh panties, then bring your own supplies. So I always pack more underwear than I expect, because what if you're there an extra night? What if you start your period unexpectedly? What if you have an accident of some kind because you don't know what your reactions to different medications are going to be? Just like when you go on a camping trip or a vacation, if you're going for 5 nights, pack at least 6 pairs of underpants. The first thing I did when I was alone in my room after the ICU, so I got ICU and then moved down to a regular floor after 24 hours. The first thing I did when I was alone is I changed my clothes on my own. It's probably a little crazy. I probably should have asked for help, but that's what I did. And I had planned accordingly to hopefully be able to do it on my own. So easy, comfy pants or shorts, pulling on and off. Nothing with metal. Yoga pants, stretch pants, pajama pants, whatever you feel comfortable. I am always a pretty cold person, so I brought yoga pants that I could just pull on, and I wear them as pajama pants at home. Great to have a second pair just in case. You never know what kind of accident you could have. Shirts. For brain surgery, you need shirts that you can pull on either with a large, wide neck, like this kind of tank top that's a big, long scoop neck or a V-neck, or something that buttons or zips. You need to be able to pull something on over your head really easily, where you can like barely lift your arms, or pull it up like a skirt. So with this is wide enough that I can pull it on up from the bottom. I'm now just about almost 6.5 weeks post-op, and I can get dressed pretty normally. My only thing is if the neck is too tight, I can't get it off without kind of scraping it on my scar, my incision area, so I have to have my kiddo help me with that. Or I'm like stuck in my shirt. So things, if you're a cold person, or you might be cold on the way home, make sure you've got something. I had planned for surgery to be in February, and so I bought used and new a bunch of flannel shirts. Well, the collar on flannel shirts touches the back of my neck, and I find that really uncomfortable. But honestly, I think hoodies would too. So I'm not sure what I would have ended up doing if surgery would have been in February. But things you can get on easily without lifting your arms up over your head, highly recommend. If you are a person who wears a bra, one that clasps in the back that you can turn around, clasp, turn around, and put on would work, because I think that kind of motion would be okay. I typically wear sports bras, so putting them on over my head does not work. The ones I have are super stretchy. I can get them on just barely by pulling them up like a skirt. The other thing that I went for was, after surgery, I decided I wanted tank tops that have an extra layer and they have elastic that goes underneath. And I call them shelf tanks. I think there might be another name too, I can't remember. And I also pull those up, and they have adjustable straps. So I pull those up from the bottom and put those on very easily. I like them for sleeping in, but also I just like them for wearing. It's hot. I don't have to have an extra layer on. I felt relatively okay having friends come over to the house with me wearing shorts and one of those kinds of tank tops. Highly recommend wearing socks, even if they're just little socks. Bring some pairs of socks. Heard a noise. Creepy. But when you're in the hospital, they will require you to put on the grippy socks to get out of bed. Even if you're wearing different socks, you got to put on the grippy socks to get out of bed. If you hate the grippy socks like I do, and you've got a few extra dollars, you can buy grippy socks that are probably way more comfortable. So if you want to have your own grippy socks, there's yoga socks and all kinds of things that have grips on the bottom that you can get online. And I looked into those, but I wasn't going to spend the money on them for a few days. Anytime I had to get out of bed, I put the socks on and then got out of bed and then did it. The one time I forgot, when I was in for my GI bleed, 2.5 weeks post-op, I think it was, yeah, 3 weeks post-op. I forgot once, and I fessed up to the nurse, and she was like, all right, well, just make sure you do it. Can't have you falling. So the other option is is instead of the grippy socks, to have some sort of shoes to wear that you can slip on easily. So slippers that have a hard sole or grip on the bottom, or Crocs, something like that you can slip on. If you're a flip-flops kind of person, then flip-flops. Something for that. And then also easy shoes for leaving the hospital in. If you're going to wear your Crocs or flip-flops out, great. I brought my tennis shoes because that's what I wore in, and I didn't think about what to wear out. So my one oops, I think, wasn't that big of a deal. I could have had my friend who came and got me, or a nurse help me with that. I also do highly recommend having somebody help you change your clothes for the first time. When you get all the wires off, you can clean them with, you can put some coconut oil or lotion on them, and that will help get that adhesive off, and then you can get dressed with some help too. Don't recommend doing it on your own like I did. The extras and necessities column that I made, for brain surgery, for my surgeon, it was required that I bring all of my CDs with me. All of my discs with all my MRIs needed to come with me. That is because, yes, she has ability to work at that hospital, but it's not connected with her office. And so where things were all saved at her office, that's not transferable to the hospital. And so I think it's just easier for them to have those discs on files. Double check if you've got a surgeon, that if you need to have your MRI discs with you. I put them all in a little black CD case. It's hard-sided, and I just put it in, I stuck in a card for my neurosurgeon's office, and I think the discs even have my name on them and stuff. So if something had happened, they probably would have gotten back to me. They showed up somehow in my bag. I don't know. I don't remember. There's that period of time during pre-op that I don't remember talking. I don't remember being conscious. But I know I had to have been, because the last memory I had was sitting up. So I also have a medical binder, which I really need to go through. And when I do, I will try to make a video about what I put into my medical binder and why. But I'm not there yet, and that's a lot of work. When I ended up going to the hospital for my GI bleed, I threw some of these basics into my bag, and my medical information and my MRI discs, just so I had it all in there, just in case something happened, just in case I needed proof of my diagnosis or proof of my surgery, as if a 4-inch scar on the back of my head isn't proof. But I also went to a hospital affiliated with the hospital where I had my surgery. Complicated. And a weird tangent, sorry about that. Anyways, into the extras and necessities. Of course, most people are going to bring their phone, and you're going to need a really long phone charger. Most hospital beds, have that lifting up part. There's stuff behind it for putting IV poles. There's not really a good, easy way, but there is often a charger near the head of the bed, or an outlet near the head of the bed. I had one hospital bed that I noticed there was a USB charger port on the hospital bed. I think it was at the hospital when I had my GI bleed when I was admitted. That was really cool because my charger could just stick right in there, and I didn't have to worry about it trying to reach around. I was able to come up with a way to loop my charger cord, so that I didn't drop things on the floor, which is really awkward when you can't bend over or squat or get out of bed easily. I think it's helpful to have your phone with you as much as you can, not only because it gives you something to do if you don't have somebody there with you to chat with. And I didn't do a whole lot, but it was really nice to be able to message people, let people know how I was doing. And I also used apps to watch videos. If there's nothing on the TV and I really needed to just stay awake for a little bit, I'd watch videos on my phone. I also used, when I was in for my GI bleed, I don't think I did it for my surgery, I used an app called Insight Timer, and I found some nice meditation music that had singing bowls, and it really helped me to calm down and to focus. So when I was starting to freak out a little bit, feeling really anxious or alone, I put on something like that. There's Insight Timer, is a free app, and there's all kinds of things, meditation talks, guided meditations where you can just like body scans and relax and breathe. Yeah, breathing like guiding meditations, different kinds of relaxing music, waves, all kinds of stuff like that. So if you don't have music on your phone or Spotify, highly recommend that. Headphones if you want them, but nothing that's going to go anywhere near where your incision's going to be. I really dislike headphones, so I didn't pack any, and I was totally fine without them. I had no one in my room with me, so if you were to have a friend there with you or family member, or if you had shared rooms and you had a roommate, probably good to bring headphones. Ooh, my fridge is going to talk to us. The other thing about phones is cleaning them. If they're in your hands a lot, clean them. I don't know if anyone else, I'm a little lax about it because I'm not going anyplace right now, but cleaning your phone with alcohol, and there's tons of alcohol swabs at the hospital. They clean your IV port thing every time they come in to put medicine in. You can ask for some to clean your phone with. And clean the whole outside of your case and everything. I have my case off because it fits in my stand right now, so I'll clean things when I get done with my video. And then, and you can do that way. So highly recommend cleaning your phone, cleaning your glasses, anything like that that you're going to touch frequently while you're in the hospital. Decrease your chances of getting an infection of any kind. All right. I really used my earplugs while I was in the hospital. Both of my hospital stays, I used my earplugs. I let nurses know before, most of the time. I try to let my nurses know, hey, if I'm asleep, I probably have earplugs in, so it might be hard to wake me up to give me medicine or take my blood pressure, just so you know. I think they really appreciated it that I let them know. I had one that would gently touch my ankle, and that would wake me up. I had one that would speak loudly within arm's reach of me, and none of the times did I really startle myself awake and hurt myself. But I did have a time at home where I startled awake, and I don't know why. I don't remember what that was about. I startled awake at home, jumped up, and hurt my neck. Like, it did not feel good. It's fine now, but it hurt, and the muscle relaxers really had to kick in to help that one. I also wore an eye mask. I was able to get it to go up high enough around and come down instead of being down low on my incision. So I wore it up higher like this, depending on what ones. I found some on Amazon that came in a 3-pack that had a little bit of a contoured bubble, so instead of being a flat fabric, they kind of went like that a little bit, and they have really adjustable bands that I felt were good quality. So that was something I invested in, because you gotta sleep. You have to figure out how to sleep, and even if it's only 20-30 minute cat naps, the hospital I was taking anywhere from an hour to 2 hours, but sometimes I'd only get 20 minutes because someone would come in to do something. Your basics that you keep in your bag are your purse, wallet, keys, that kind of thing. Good to have those. Chapstick, guess that could go in the personal care thing as well, but also something people keep in their purses. Prescriptions, if you bring prescriptions or over-the-counter medication with you to the hospital, it may be taken from you and kept with security, where you sign a whole thing that goes with security. They did not ask me when I came in the first time for my surgery, but when I went in and was admitted for the GI bleed, they didn't ask, and like day 2 in there, it came up that I had medications with me, and they needed to go. I wasn't trying to break the rules. I didn't know there was a rule, so giving you a heads up. Most of the hospitals, I think, are going to follow this rule. They don't want you taking medications that they don't know and have accounted for, even if you have a prescription for it. So if you don't need it with you, leave it at home. If it's something you need to have on the way home, I guess, or right before, bring just what you need. So if you take something at 6 in the morning every day, take it right then. I don't know what they do for things like birth control, where you have to take it every day at the same time. It might be something to discuss with a doctor beforehand. The other interesting little extra that I brought was C-bands. They are used for nausea, and they have a little button type spot. You put it here on your wrist, you put the little bracelet thing on, it looks like a little mini sweatband. It pushes into here, and it uses acupressure to help with nausea. There's also a couple spots on your wrist that can help with sleep. So though that could be helpful. I have them from dealing with motion sickness, and they also helped when I had pregnancy nausea. I did not use those specifically, I think, on the surgery, because I didn't have much nausea after the first or second day. But I did take them with me for my GI bleed because I was dealing with a lot of nausea and throwing up, so I brought them with me. Man, this is a long video. Okay, last section on my notes is food. I have celiac disease. I have different foods I can't eat besides gluten, and different foods I choose not to eat as well. So making sure that the hospital knew ahead of time during my pre-op phone call was important. Like, hey, this is what I eat, what I don't eat. Can this be accommodated? And then the other thing was just having food available when you feel like you can eat was really important for both of my hospital stays. I didn't want to have to be at the mercy of whatever the nurse's station happened to have on hand. Or if I missed ordering a meal, one of the hospitals I was at ordered meals for me, which was really nice. Like, I got back from getting a procedure done, and there was dinner for me. I was totally floored. It was lovely. And it met within my dietary restrictions. It was very, very nice. It was very much sick people food too, like grilled cheese and tomato soup and chocolate pudding. I was very impressed. So what I found after Chiari decompression surgery, I had packed crackers, pretzels. I have these peanut butter crackers that I love. I have like peanut butter sandwich crackers. I had packed all those kinds of things, figuring I'd want very light foods. Like, I could eat 4 bites of rice Chex, and 4 pieces of rice Chex, and be okay. Because a lot of medications, you need to have some food on your stomach before you take them. And I could not. I could not eat those foods. I don't know the exact culprit, but they give some sort of medication to dry out your mucous membranes when they are doing the surgery, when they're intubating. And then also morphine and some of the other pain medications can dry out your mucous membranes, or give you dry mouth, even just dry mouth. So I wasn't ready for that. I remember trying to eat some of my favorite peanut butter sandwich crackers in the ICU. I almost said NICU. I'm a little older than that. In the ICU, and gagging. I couldn't even eat one cracker because it just turned into this dry, gluey mess in my mouth, and I could not swallow it. So I recommend wet, soft foods, protein drinks. I wish I had packed more of them. I brought 3, expecting to be there for 3 days. I should have brought like 5 or 6 just to have extras. I don't know if nurses will keep things at the stations for you, or get you ice to keep your cooler or whatever. I don't know. So I only packed 1 yogurt because I didn't want to risk it going bad with the ice packs I had in there. Fruit cups, which they might be able to get you. Juice, they should be able to get you juice. And so I highly recommend some sort of protein drinks. And then hard candy, when I wanted to have the taste of something in my mouth, either from bad medication taste, or sometimes when they do IVs, you get a taste in your mouth and it's like, ugh. So I really liked having Jolly Ranchers on hand. I just packed a little sandwich bag with like 10 Jolly Ranchers in it. I used 4 of them, but it was worth having it. So if you're a gum chewer or you like suckers or something, I'd say get some hard candy on hand. And then I didn't pack Gatorade or some sort of electrolyte drink, but that could be good if you like drinking that over water. I was always supplied with water. There was maybe one time where I had to actually ask for water, but they were really good about getting me water constantly. Anytime that it even looked like I might run out of water, they brought another one with ice right away. So I had packed all of these things. Once the dry mouth passed, I was able to eat pretzels, a granola bar, and but otherwise it was really hard to do. Another thought I had for some people on the personal care side of things is if you have dry eyes already, bring your eye drops, because this could make that even harder for you. So that is all. 25-minute video, but I feel like these are essentials. If there's something you packed for surgery that you found super crucial, was the best thing you had, or just some other tip you have, please leave a comment. If you have something you packed for surgery that was silly and you didn't need, please leave a comment. I know a lot of people who've had Chiari decompression surgery swear by the neck pillows for going home, and they don't put them around their necks. They put them like a horseshoe up here, lean their head back on the car seat. So I did not do that. I didn't have the time to find one that I was comfortable with that would work for me. But I know a lot of people really like doing that. Or if a person already wears a cervical collar or one pre-surgery, they might be able to wear one on the way home, or even a soft collar, because on the way home was really jarring. No matter how kindly and gently my friend drove, it was not a fun ride home. So thank you for watching. Please share my channel. There we go, brain moment. Please share my channel or subscribe, pass it around so that maybe some other people can be helped by whatever I put out there in the world. It's been really helpful to me to watch videos on YouTube, and there's not a lot of people with Chiari doing these kinds of videos. So thank you and bye.